Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. I'm Phil Smith, the MC of this event, and thank you for all for coming. We'd like to welcome the following American Legions. We'd like to thank the American Legion for allowing us to come here and not being charged for it, because otherwise we'd have to be paying some money, but we're fine. The Marine Corps League Detachment 152 in Dearborn, which is the east end of this city, put this thing together with Chuck Bernard. Chuck, raise your hand. Most of you know what we're here for, but it's a long overdue presentation and receivership of the Purple Heart for World War II. We would like to thank Tony, I hope I pronounced this right, Pacasini's family for being here and traveling for such a far distance, I'm sure, California. That's what I heard. And from other states and also Michigan.
Texas also.
Sorry?
Also Texas.
Oakland, Texas. I mean, it's all over the United States.
Best state ever.
Thank you for coming and taking your time out of your busy schedule and being here for the auspicious occasion. And the award presentation, which is long overdue. Senator Peters is on his way, and we'd like to have Congresswoman Dingle please stand. We're supposed to have Commissioner Sam Bedoin, Wayne County Commissioner here, and also a Dearborn City Councilwoman Leslie Herrick.
I'm right here.
She's here standing up too. The Inspector, Lieutenant Colonel John Giannopoulos. Hello, everybody. Sergeant Major Adam Ruiz. They will be presenting the award. In our midst also, besides our recipient, we have, and we're probably the first and last time you might see this.
Don't say that.
No.
I'm not going to say that. World War II, Purple Heart recipients from World War II to the current Iraqi-Afghanistan war. If you please stand up. We also have members of World War II that were here when the presentation, when the Commandant stopped by. Sergeant Ed Gazelle, Sergeant Lyman Duco. Don't get him caught. Corporal Art Russell. And Captain Hal Barber from the Korean War, which is wounded in Korea. If Congresswoman Dingle would like to say anything, please step up.
I just want to tell, I came right from the plane.
No.
And first of all, I want to tell you how great it is to be at this Legion Post. This is a community, and when I walk in here, you guys may give me a hard time, but I love you. This is home, right in the heart of my city, Dearborn, so I thank you for that. So Tony, I'm really glad to be here with you today. And to meet your family. I get to see you sometimes, but 9 daughters, 18 grandchildren, one son, and the son said I'm not one of the daughters. And 18 grandchildren. It's really an honor to be with you. And 2 great, are they here? No. Great grandchildren. But as I was like, I told my staff, I'm missing votes if I have to, I'm getting here. Because Tony made me think about John a lot this week. All of you are of a generation, you love this country. We have to, we're not Republicans or Democrats, we're Americans. And you know what democracy meant. You went to fight for it, you defended it, and we're here today because of what you did. So to all of you, to all the veterans here, I love you and I thank you for your service. But to be here Your wife and John are up there together right now. They're watching. They're proud of you. She misses you. I miss John. But thank you for the service you did so that we could all be free. You deserve this award, and it may be late, but I'm sure glad we're all here celebrating you. Congratulations.
Commissioner Bedoin just showed up. I don't know if he wants to say anything.
How you doing?
No?
Commissioner Baidoon.
Doom, I'm sorry. I got correct.
And Phil, we do love you too.
And also, City Council, from the Dearborn City Council, Leslie Herrick. Would you like to say anything, Leslie?
No, you're fine.
I just want to say on the behalf of Mayor O'Reilly, who was unfortunately not able to attend this evening, and the Dearborn City Council, and the residents of Dearborn, we are honored that you are here today to celebrate this special accomplishment with us. And we thank you for your service. We thank all the veterans who are here for enabling us to all be here today celebrating the freedoms that we enjoy. So thank you so much for all you gave for our country.
There's also on the table, I don't know if it's still there, a Semper Fi flag or Marine Corps flag with a Sharpie, that if anybody wishes to sign that flag, they're more than welcome to do so after the presentation. There's a couple presentations, one of which is a veteran of the game, have especially etched a mug, which has the battles of where Tony was in during World War II, prior to getting wounded. Chuck, do you have that?
Got it.
This is my moment to drop the mug. Pray for me.
Walk up
Every
flag.
day.
Walk up flag.
Here we go. For the cameras, you may have to get in close to see this. Shall I read it off?
Behind the mic, Chuck.
Okay.
Behind the mic.
Get on the mic, Chuck, so I can hear you.
Right there.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. Okay, we've got Peleliu, Okinawa, and China. We also, okay, it says Corporal Tony Procaccini, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines, 1st Marine Division. It's got the eagle, globe, and anchor.
Hoorah.
Yeah. So let's, for all the Marines here, let's hear the hoorah.
Pour something in it.
We also have another presentation, and where's Sergeant Major Ruiz?
Here.
Here he is. Not that presentation. We have a ball cap presented by from the sergeant. Well, Sergeant Major's going to present it. That also has all the islands which Tony was on, presented by Sergeant Major Ruiz. Where's the cover of that?
Just bring it out of class so we get sweat.
You'll get a chance. I'll try not to
When we think about the very few Americans who have smelled the taint of blood, whether it's their own or the enemy's, and when they've smelt the cordite and the sweat and the fear of battle, I'd like to say thank you to those veterans who know that. I'd like to say thank you to Congresswoman, distinguished as always. Thank you for being here. Members of the city, thank you for being here. Lieutenant Colonel Giannopoulos, thank you for providing the time and effort to do this. But mostly to Tony. It's very rare that we actually get to meet the name we see in the hype, right? America's greatest generation. Tony is the embodiment of exactly that. 10 children, 9 daughters, 1 son. Sorry for that, brother. You should have probably saw a doctor much earlier, and maybe they could have fixed that. He started a business He attended the University of Michigan. He's a Michigan sports fan. And tonight we're gonna give we're gonna give him an award. The community's here. We're gonna give him an award that's from the government. You know, it's as old as George Washington. But the cover that we have here, a cover for you civilian people's a hat. We call it a cover of the Marines. This cover is from your brothers. This cover is from Marines who believe what you believe, honor, courage, and commitment. This cover is for a man who served on Peleliu and Okinawa, the bloodiest battles in the Pacific. A man who has lived the embodiment of what it means to be an American. And when you think about that, when you put that in your heart and you know that's who we're looking at, right there, this is the man. So thank you, Tony, and we present this to you with pride. I don't know if it's justice for your head.
We're still waiting for Senator Peters. He should be arriving any time unless he's got traffic, which is nothing unusual for this area. But it's been 72 years since Tony was wounded in the Battle of Okinawa during World War II. He was at other islands as well, along with many Marines who were wounded, but some may never have come home. Let's take a moment to remember those who are born of battles but did not come home. For those who are covered, please uncover for a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, we would like the Inspector of the 1st Battalion, 24th Marines, Lieutenant Colonel Giannopoulos, and Sergeant Major Ruiz to please come up and present the Purple Heart Award to Tony Frascati.
You're gonna have to actually. How should we stand? Right there. No, we're gonna stand. The camera's gonna move.
I'm about to yell at you.
Get up straight like you.
Good, don't worry about it.
Marine to be awarded, front and center. The United States of America, to who all shall see these President's greetings. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Purple Heart, established by General George Washington at Newborough, New York, August 7th, 1782, to Private First Class Anthony J. Procaccini, United States Marine Corps, for wounds received in action on May 14th, 1945 on Okinawa during World War II, given under my hand in the city of Washington, this 22nd day of May, 2019, Robert B. Neller, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
I got 15 pages of notes, but I'm also good evening to everyone. What was to be a small affair has turned into a large event. Much more than I expected or deserved. An affair like this takes the help of a lot of people. And I'd like to recognize those people, some of whom have already been recognized. But I think it's important that we do. I'd like to begin by thanking
Robert Miller, commanding commandant of the Marine Corps, and his staff for their quick reaction when it was needed. I understand that General Miller retired yesterday, and we want to wish him the very best. I want to thank Chuck Bernard, who has pushed the process since 2018. Others who have helped were members of the Marine Corps League, Detachment 152, Bill Smith, and Tom Christian. I want to thank the Colonel and the Sergeant for the presentation and to recognize their activities. It's a real honor to have a veteran who I have not met and thank him for his service. I want to thank the Dearborn American Legion folks and staff for helping to host this event. I think it's most important that I want to thank my family. There are 8 of my daughters here, and I'd like them to stand with their spouses, if they will. And we recognize. I'm sorry that Dawn, my wife of 74 years, couldn't be here today to share this moment with us. I would like to thank my daughter Linda, who has handled many details with Chuck, and I'd like to give her a hand. In closing, we know the process of 75 years was a long time, but it was worth the effort because it gave me the opportunity to share the results with my grandchildren who are here tonight and wish they would stand up too. I think since the youngest is 19 and the oldest is 42, they better that appreciation of what the armed services, regardless of the service, have done for this country. Let me say that it's so glad to see everybody here and to thank you again, and Representative Tingle, same thing. And what I say is simplify. God bless America.
Yes.
Senator Payne, if you please come up. Thank you for coming. I know you flew at low altitude, right? Flew out here.
Thank you.
Say a few words.
All right, Sadie, I tell you, it is truly an honor to be here. I'm sorry I wasn't here earlier in the celebration. I literally just landed. Luckily, the airport's not far. I was able to get here while still obeying all the speed limits to get here.
All right. I broke the speed limit.
So Representative does that. You know, senators were lawmakers, not lawbreakers.
It's my hometown. These are my guys. They're with me.
Cody, I just want to say what an honor it is to be here. I learned of this ceremony. I said I have to be here to honor a man who's really part of the greatest generation. When we think of what you did and your generation did in World War II, you know, I'm proud. My father served in World War II. He was on the European side in France. As you went off to the Pacific Theater after your graduation from U of M, and went into a very hostile world, and we're in 2 of the major conflicts of the Pacific War. And we think about what we had to do to go across the Pacific and the island hopping strategy and the difficulty associated with that. And I just can't imagine what you went through as you got into those landing craft and landed on those beaches with your fellow Marines. in a hail of iron, a hail of fire. And I'm particularly touched to be here because of your work and your service at Okinawa, which was the largest amphibious landing in the Pacific, and had incredible cost of tens of thousands of Americans who lost their lives. But it was a critical battle. It was the battle that really turned the entire campaign of the Pacific. And as we kept going through each island after island, we knew that Okinawa, we were finally now within range of the Japanese mainland. But the cost involved, both Japanese lives, over 100,000, 75,000 casualties of the U.S. soldiers over 80 days of a battle. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be in a conflict of 80 days with the intensity of what you went through.